Testing, testing. Good evening, everyone. My name is Chatandra Lister. I am our Senior Transfer Advisor. I'm joined by two of our accounting faculty. If you wanted to introduce yourselves.
Yeah, my name is Mohammed Gaber. I'm the chair and certainly coordinator for the online accounting program.
I'm Dr. Jason Lee. I'm teaching intermediate accounting 1 and 2 and cost accounting.
Right. So throughout the presentation today, we're hopefully going to give you a ton of information about our online accounting program and really the entire transfer process, advisement, registration, all the things that you may need to know before either applying or if you already have applied, kind of ideas of what you can expect in terms of next steps. Throughout this presentation, you do have the ability in your chat box to type in any questions that you may have. And between the three of us, I think that we have the expertise to be able to answer any questions that you may have. And then again, at the end of the presentation, we'll definitely let you know different ways to get in contact with us should you have any follow-up questions. So kind of to give you fast facts about, I think it's important to kind of know the overarching kind of community of Plattsburgh because we are a brick and mortar institution. So while we do have the specialty in this online accounting degree, know that there are a ton of other majors and a reputation that comes with graduating from Plattsburgh. We're founded in 1889. We have about 5,500 students in total, very diverse population in terms of where our students are coming from, 32 states, 73 countries, and we are accredited by the Middle States Association. So important kind of notes to take part in. To give you an overview of more specifically our School of Business and Economics, where our accounting program is housed, we are AACSB accredited, our entirety of our School of Business. So kind of that, the expertise and the knowledge that comes with that, I think definitely sets our online accounting program apart. We have different majors, 11 minors. We have a data analytics master's program. In terms of our full-time students, we have just over 1,000 students and over 30 full-time faculty. In addition to that, we have 5 faculty recipients of our Chancellor's Award for Excellence in Teaching. So I think that that's a real testament to the expertise and the knowledge that you're going to get within the School of Business. Being that the two of you are enrolled with or that work within the School of Business, can you give an overarching kind of feel to the program, to the school?
Well, let me start with the expression AACSB accreditation. There's only about 700 schools in the nation, in the United States, and they are accredited. So it doesn't matter which school you're looking for. Once you are accredited, you are in the same team and same league. You know, and every employer is your school accredited, and once they see the AACSB accreditation, certainly they trust the knowledge that you gained in your accounting degree.
It's very important to make sure that you're attending a school with the AACSB accredited, because those credit hours, they will count toward your specialization in the future. Also, if some of you have chances to go to PhD program, to graduate from a AACSB accredited program is very important.
Right, so looking at specifically our online accounting students at a glance, we have about just over 180 matriculated transfer students that are participating in the online accounting program, and 87 new transfer students that enrolled within 2019. That includes spring, summer, and our fall entry point. So the two of you kind of talk about the program itself, what you want as terms of key takeaways, what you would like our students that are participating today to know about the program.
I just want to let you know that my students actually are in this transfer accounting program. They are from all over the place. There are people actually with a bachelor degree. They want to switch to different careers. And some of them, they are even attorney. Some of them, they are stay-home moms. So we have many different type of people that are looking for getting their accounting degrees over here. And so if you're thinking about to make a career change, actually online accounting program is the right place for you.
Right. So in terms of, these are going to kind of be a snapshot of the different course requirements that we would like to see from a student. Keep in mind, we're going to talk about these and then also talk about the fact that we are leading towards students. So in an ideal world, if a student were coming into the program, we would like to see financial and managerial accounting, business law 1 and 2, macroeconomics, microeconomics, statistics, principles of management and marketing, business applications. So that'd be some sort of computer course that incorporates Excel and the different the Microsoft suite, introduction to public speaking, and pre-calculus or calculus. So again, this is the ideal kind of set of courses, because this is going to ensure that if you're coming in as a full-time student, that 2-year degree completion. Not all of our students have this. Actually, many of our students don't necessarily have all of these courses when they're coming in. So Dr. Grieber, can you kind of talk about what are the key classes you would recommend, and if students don't have those courses, kind of what we would do?
At minimum, in terms of accounting, the first and second course in accounting, Introduction to Financial and Managerial Accounting. Without those courses, unfortunately, you cannot start the advanced courses. However, if you don't have them, I have so many people have bachelor degree in something else, and I have one in fine arts. So what we recommend, maybe they can take it before actually they get into the intermediate level accounting. If they are admitted for the fall semester, they should start taking those courses during the summer. And we offer those courses by our faculty, full-time faculty during the summer online. So you can do them. But preferably, if you're coming from our 2-year institution within SUNY, within CUNY, you will have those acceptable by us. Business Law 1 also is some kind of an essential course to come up with, but if you don't have it, the winter and summer session. Business Law 2, yeah, I promise everybody that not everybody coming from a 2-year institution, from other institution, they will have both Business Law 1 and Business Law 2. So that's why we offer every year Business Law 2 online as well. Micro and macroeconomics are essential, and the first course in statistics, because that will allow you to get into the advanced courses, either in economics like money and banking, or the first course in finance.
And I definitely want to kind of, in continuing to look at that. So we have a lot of students that will apply to the fall term, or they'll apply to the spring term. Know that we do have, those course offerings. We do have a winter session. Obviously, students can take less classes within that. Students would take, but we do have a lot of students that decide they want to come for fall, but may decide we're able to easily change their matriculation term to the summer term. So students would still be able to potentially qualify for their financial aid while still taking some of those classes, which is why we actually created that summer start. So it is useful for students to know that don't necessarily see the courses that we have or that we're recommending and think there's no chance that I'm going to have with the program. Still put in your application, because we can at least advise you, give you recommendations. If we would recommend that you kind of delay your term to start, we can defer your application for up to a year. So send us the stuff that we have, and then we can best kind of guide you towards our recommendation for entry. So I think one of the things that I have heard from many of the students that I have worked with the program and have kind of gotten feedback with is the engagement of the faculty and the curriculum that you are all teaching. Can you kind of talk about what the program looks like, in that online format, to kind of put at ease some students who may be a little bit nervous about kind of starting an online degree?
Okay. Our online program is actually very flexible. We try to make it easy for a lot of people to be able to take care of your learning after your jobs. So you don't really expect to meet with us during a specific time periods. Actually, you are free to work on your homework assignments and quizzes during any time for your convenience. So for you, you don't have to worry about that. You have to spend specific time during the day. You don't have to give up your jobs. That's exactly the point of this online program. And we use many different type of materials for watch some videos, and you will have the handouts for our course materials, and we have a lot of things they provide to you. I would say that one thing very important for people to know is SUNY Plattsburgh, we are very proud of ourselves for being good advisors. We actually answer every question from students as an instructor personally. We do not use TA, so we don't have a teaching assistants, at this point. And I personally answer a lot of questions from students, so you can ask me questions. They could be ranging from your specific questions regarding your quizzes or any advice for your career planning.
From the first day that you get admitted, and after we certainly assign you the courses that go with your prior institution courses, you will be assigned to an academic faculty who is a full-time and will be your advisor, your mentor, your friend until graduation, until you walk the stage and hopefully beyond.
That ties nicely into what we were already talking about in terms of course advisement. So when a student first, let's say they get accepted and they're submitting their admissions deposit, they've gotten their credit evaluation, what can they expect in terms of that initial kind of first course advisement with you?
Okay, it's in fact, did you talk about coaches, from SUNY?
we will.
Okay. So once certainly my admission colleague, finished the credit evaluation, I get in touch with every accepted student before assigning them any faculty as an advisor. I look at course that is transferable and transferred to SUNY Plattsburgh accounting program, and then I consult with them. Some of you will be full-time, some of you will be part-time. And based on that, I plan the schedule accordingly. And I consult with you and say, here it is, that's what I recommend. And once you agree on my recommendation, I go and process the registration for you the first semester. After that, you will be working with your academic mentor. Either some people teaching classes or some people just serve as a mentor like myself. I'm chairing the accounting department. I do not teach in any courses online at this time, but I will say that I advise between 50 and 60 online accounting candidates.
As an advisor, actually every semester I prepare an Excel spreadsheet. So on the spreadsheet, you will be able to see what course every semester all the way until your graduation. So you will know exactly when you will be able to graduate given your course load. So many students, for example, they decide to switch from part-time to full-time schedule, or some of them, they feel that the workload is pretty heavy, so they can switch back from full-time to part-time. So our program is basically very flexible. So we try to do a lot of things to customize your plan for you. So you can feel very comfortable talking to us if you have any specific requirements.
I think that it is important to know, Dr. Huber kind of mentioned it, we do have a specific a coordinator for our SUNY online program who works directly with SUNY. So as you are starting the application process, when you are right from that beginning interest in the program, you would be connected with her. Her name is Jamie Frankenfield, and she's there to kind of assist you through that beginning process about kind of what your courses look like, if you have questions about the actual application process and what that's going to look like. She's really going to help you right from that day one when you're actually getting ready and thinking about submitting the application, all the way to when you actually submit your application for admission. And then once you are accepted, then she's going to reach out with you and start to kind of have that conversation with you about getting onboarded to the online system. So we work in Blackboard for our SUNY online program. So she will help you with an orientation that's going to help you to get connected with what you're going to be doing, how you're able to navigate that tool. And she's there kind of as a liaison too. So she works with both myself. I work on that admission side and the credit evaluation side with Dr. Gaber, who's working with you and getting you registered for classes. So I think it works really seamlessly to make sure that that you have somebody that's there that's able to answer the questions that you have. So in terms of preparation and support, we've kind of talked about kind of some of that pre-onboarding kind of step. I can also talk about the admissions piece and what we will do in terms of support for you. And then I'll have our faculty kind of talk about the support that would be involved within the program itself. So through the admissions office, pretty much once we get your application, and potentially even before that, if there are questions that are coming in, we are going to, within a couple of days, reach out to you to let you know exactly what it is that you're missing, what it is that you need. You're going to get follow-up phone calls with us throughout that process, letting you know if there are any additional things that we need in order to make a decision. And then also letting you know when we've made an acceptance. And then from there, we're going to enroll you into an email communication, which is going to let you know pretty much step-by-step everything that you're going to need to have done prior to the start of the semester. In terms of support from the department itself, what can students, if they have questions, or even if they're just making sure that the program that they have is going to help them kind of be supported and that they're not just going to kind of be in a sea on their own, trying to navigate the courses that they have. What does that look like?
I think we are working as a team actually to help our students a lot. For example, if a student have a problem with the curriculum, sometimes the issue is not related to curriculum. It's actually related to students' personal life, or something else. So actually, in this case, actually we might actually work as a team. So also we work with SUNY coach to deal with so many different issues. Sometimes the issue actually they are more complicated than what we think. But something we are proud of us as a team is we really and we care about our students and we want our students to do well. So as a team, we are helping people.
All right. So in terms of the application and what we're looking for in terms of an admissions decision, because I think that is super important to know. But prior to that, we actually have a couple of questions that have come in. So if you have trouble understanding concepts, is there any online tutoring?
Okay. At this stage, actually, my online tutoring is, when my students have a question about homework or quiz questions, personally, I will prepare an Excel analysis for that question. So you will receive an analysis, in Excel format, actually emailed to you. So that's actually my my help with my students. Yeah. So you can definitely receive the online support directly from a great.
And then the other question that we have is, can you see what financial aid you qualify for before you submit an application, or do you have to officially apply first? So typically you have to apply first. You can get an idea of the information. So if you contact our financial aid office, they've worked in financial aid for, at this point, probably about 40 years. So they have a good knowledge of kind of scenarios and situations, but ultimately they need that FAFSA in order to really kind of break it down and tell you, and that can't be shared with us until an actual acceptance is generated. The nice part about the online accounting program right now is students that are applying through the SUNY application, your application fee is actually waived. So with that, it's not costing you anything to go forward with the application process, submit the information to us, and then submitting your financial. With that, there are definitely factors that come into that in terms of the number of credits that are being transferred, and then also again that FAFSA. So again, you can definitely call them and they can give you kind of an estimate and an idea of what you would receive and different items to help you, but they're not going to be able to give you kind of a final number until they get that FAFSA from you. So again, if you have more questions, definitely keep them coming. Oops. So in terms of the application requirements, so students that are applying to our online accounting program, again, if they're applying through the SUNY application, are going to have that application fee waived. We're looking for an overall average of a 2.3 on a 4.0 scale. That's going to be cumulative. So that is going to be listing all of the different transcripts that you've attended. So with this, we definitely have students that have attended, some students have attended one school, many schools. So send us everything. We will look at it because we're going to accumulate over all of your credits. Keep in mind, we do have a couple of students on occasion that fall just below that 2.3, where they may have taken coursework 10 or 15 years ago in a non-related field that really brought down their overall GPA, but especially students have taken business classes, they're in accounting courses that are showing a much stronger trend. Send us that because we can always bring that to the department, bring that to the School of Business, and see if there is any possibility for kind of looking at that student based on the trend that they currently have. So like I said, send us everything because we can at least talk with you and figure out what are going to be your best paths forward with the degree program. Dates and deadlines that we are looking for. We operate on rolling admissions. Pretty much as we have space available in the program, we continue to accept students. With that said, the earlier that you apply, obviously, the less stressful that it's going to be for you. And also for our faculty as well. We'll definitely make that process much easier, and myself as I'm kind of in a sea of credits at the end of the summer, much easier for you to get that credit evaluation done and kind of completed at the beginning. So we recommend for the spring, the priority deadline is already passed, but you still have plenty of time to put in your application. We would like to see for students that are submitting their FAFSA, usually around that same time frame, but again, we are still accepting FAFSA, they are still awarding financial aid, so don't let that deter you. With that deposit deadline, that is really for any student that has put in their application and has been accepted prior to November 1. From now, the semester, students have about 30 days from their initial deposit to kind of commit. And if they need a little bit more time, you can always reach out to us and we can look at providing you with an extension waiver. For summer students, we would like, summer and fall, we would like to see those applications by around March 1. The FAFSA, we would like to see that ideally by around December 15th, but again, that can be later in the process as well. And then that national deposit deadline for the fall, the summer and the fall is typically around May 1 that we would ideally like to see that deposit. But again, if you've got questions or if you are going to wait a little bit longer into either the summer or into the fall to apply, just let us know so that we kind of have an idea. Transferring credit is definitely an important part of the process, especially since we have students that have or are coming from associate's degree business programs. You definitely want to make sure that the credit that you've taken is maximized, and we do that. So when we're doing your credit evaluation, we can take a maximum of 67 credits from a 2-year institution up to 84 from a 4-year institution. We can take AP or college level coursework that you took in high school. And then if you were a member or are a member of the military, we can take military credit as well. And I also always kind of put a note on that AP or that college level coursework in high school, because you may find that some of the courses that you took, like your English, your basic math, potentially like your public speaking, often were taken a long time ago. And so it's potentially been on the transcript, but doesn't always, we need each individual transcript or test score in order to kind of fully articulate your credit. So send us everything and then we'll best work up the, just gonna be the first 67 credits. We really break it down and look to make sure that any of the courses that you've taken, we try to make them so that they are the most related to the degree program that you have. And we definitely communicate. So I will do the initial credit evaluation. It's shared with Dr. Gaber, and he may email me or talk to me at a later point in time and say that based on having a conversation with you or looking at the course that you may be awarded additional credit. So keep that in mind, that kind of the number that you see or the number that you get is not necessarily always kind of set in stone. For students that are coming in either from a bachelor's degree program or from an associate's of science or an associate's of art, if you've completed your SUNY general education requirements prior to enrolling at Plattsburgh, we would waive you from the general education series with the exception of our global issues class. So that's an upper division elective course, general education course that also typically is done. It can be really put into your curriculum at any point in time, but that is kind of what we would do for any students that have those degrees. So at this point in time, I'm kind of leave it up to the two of you. Are there things or questions or kind of lasting points that you'd like for us to know?
I just want to make a comment. And I received this because we started this program almost 3 years ago. And we have our cohort, walk the stage last May. And in this December also, we have a new group graduating. Sometimes you ask, is my degree is going to say online degree? The answer is no. We have only one accounting program. Doesn't make any difference to be on campus or online. You're taking exactly the same courses that qualify to teach the on-campus and online. So your degree will say an accounting bachelor degree from SUNY Plattsburgh School of Business and Economics, the accounting department. So that sometimes, I have so many questions because, some employers, will look at that and say, oh, your degree is from online. We have only completion program and you have the name of SUNY behind you. So you can do whatever you wanted to do with your accounting degree.
If you have taken your financial accounting course many years ago, my advice for you is to actually maybe considering taking this course right before you start your coursework here at SUNY Plattsburgh, because I found that some students, they have a problem, because what they learned from financial accounting many years ago too outdated. So if that's the issue for you, I strongly advise you to take financial accounting course, maybe managerial accounting course before the semester starts. So that will actually make your career planning actually much easier and at SUNY Plattsburgh. And another thing actually for a lot of students to know is, we are accredited program. So a lot of people, I want students to know that you are here and you are learning, and we are helping you learn, but we want you to pass the CPA exam. So the course will not be easy. So get ready for that.
And the ranking of the online accounting program? Yeah. Okay. So the national ranking of our online accounting program this past year is number 11. And we talk about the got to mention, this is the only program that's coming from an accredited school of business in the whole New York State and within SUNY. So the whole SUNY, State University of New York, decided to choose us to provide the online completion program in accounting.
All right, so we actually have a couple more questions before we head out. So one of them is, I have a bachelor's degree in business management. I am interested in the program to get my bachelor's in accounting. Where can I find a list of the courses needed to graduate? That can actually be found right on our website. So there, if you go to the Plattsburgh main page, you go to the academic majors, there's going to be the online accounting program right there. And at the bottom, so very easy to find on the web. Another question I have, does the program use tools like Zoom for lectures at all?
Actually, I recorded our video using you know, a Microsoft PowerPoint video,
Mhm.
which I found actually quite easy to organize.
Yeah.
So we don't do a lot of Zoom meeting because, you
Mhm.
know, just like what I say, you know, we don't really, you know, make appointment with the students to meet at specific time. So you don't have to worry about that, you know, after you get out of work at 8 p.m., you have a professor meeting.
Yeah.
You know, we seldom do that. So for my courses, actually, I try to make it even more convenient for people. So everything, you just do it at your convenience.
Right, nice. Okay, some more questions that are coming in. Yeah, definitely keep the questions coming. We want to make sure that any of the things that you kind of have as that you're able to get completed before you leave this session. One of them, when are we assigned our advisor? I've already been accepted and registered for my semester in the spring.
Mhm.
All right. So in terms of, so now she's gotten her classes.
Mhm.
Within the next couple of weeks, you should be assigned an advisor.
Yes.
Correct? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
In the meantime, you know, certainly consider me, and I'm sure that if you are assigned some courses, I'm the one who assigned you the courses. So consider me as your academic advisor until I assign one of my colleagues to serve you going forward for the next 2 years or year and a half, whatever the amount of time we need.
Fantastic. All right. And also congratulations and welcome to the program too. Definitely important to note that you've done. Now you just get to wait to start taking classes with us. All right. How will courses be assessed? Are there any final exams?
Okay, actually, we have a lot of exams. For example, for intermediate accounting 1 and 2, you have a homework and quiz every week. Okay,
So
and
lots of exams.
yes, and we have a homework, and yet, for example, you have unlimited chances to work on the homework. So basically, homework they're designed in a way that when you work on the homework questions, you also study your books.
Mhm.
Okay, so after you finish your homework, you already have a very good hands-on experience with everything on your book.
Yeah.
And the quiz is actually, we try to give people 3 times.
Mhm.
You know, some
Okay.
faculty actually give students only 1 chance.
Mhm.
Yeah, I will give my students 3 chances. Actually, in this way, you'll be able to learn how to do well. And for accounting, intermediate accounting 1 and 2, we actually have 3 exams. So that means 2 midterms and 1 final.
Okay.
And the exams just usually is not too short. Okay, it's a little bit high pressure with the pressure from your time usage. So it's pretty much like a CPA exam style for your midterm and for your final exam. But most of the students, they are doing very well.
And you have the amount of time to do it
Yes.
also.
Yeah, your exam actually is structured in a way similar to your quizzes.
Okay.
Mhm.
Nice. Another question, similar, are tests online? Yes. And then do we have to go to a testing center?
Okay, for accounting courses, you don't have to go to any testing center.
Mhm.
And I think in our program now, actually with only exception of
Any course is provided by the School of Business and Economics. You don't have to go anywhere. Always you work with your faculty. All the exams are online, 100%.
yes.
So if you need a management course, finance, economics course, certainly all the accounting courses. The one course we're dealing with right now, if you need calculus, because that's outside the School of Business, is offered by our colleague in the math department. And they request final exam to be either on campus or in a testing center, or you can go to a public library, certainly, and you can take the exam over there.
I would say that our exam, you know, you can do any of my exam actually in front of your computer at home.
All right, some more questions. I'm getting a lot of them. So again,
That's
keep them
good.
coming. We
That's
like
good.
that.
Yeah.
If we apply for full-time, would we still take the usual 4 to 5 classes per semester, or is it different with online?
I think it's about the same. You know, full-time student definition means that you have to take at least 4 courses. So that means you have to take 4 to 5 courses. Personally, I do not suggest, you know, new students to take 5 courses unless you are sure that you'll be doing very well. But most people, I would say, 4 courses will be appropriate for people working during the daytime. It has been very challenging.
And that will depend on the amount of courses you transferred in,
Mhm.
certainly. So if you start with us having the first course and intermediate, 4 should be the maximum. Once you establish yourself, you know your faculty, you have a good grade, hopefully 4 on your first semester, you start looking into maybe 5 courses you can handle and go forward. And you have to discuss that with your academic advisor as well.
I think it's very important to make sure that you have a good start. Good start
Mhm.
actually means that you try to get used to online learning. So you don't want to, stress yourself out. So to get 4 courses and courses, and then make sure that you learn the tips about how to be successful. So if you're successful in the first year, then your second year will be very naturally, doing very well.
Absolutely. And I think that that's that nice part about the fact that we have those kind of interim starts. So if you are a student that's new to online learning, if you want to take a class and get started, if you're coming in for the fall semester where you're planning to go full-time, know that you could potentially take a summer class, get a feel for what that learning environment is going to be like, and then kind of, go in. So, and I think it's important to note too that students can change up their status, whether they're part-time or full-time. So if you wanted to start with a part-time basis, test waters, get a feel, especially if you're new to the online learning environment or if you've got a lot going on, and then wanted to change, or vice versa, that students are pretty easily able to do that. You're not kind of locked in. If you said you were full-time, for a semester, that you've got some things that are coming up or work is going to be tough and fitting a full-time schedule isn't realistic, you can always, change that up. And we do have students that come in and out of the program. I work with all of our readmit students. We try to make that process easy for students too. So if you decide that things have come up or work is crazy, or you're, adjusting, getting married, having kids, there's lots of, different factors that come up, we try to make that return back as easy as possible, and that knowledge of what you'll need to do easy as well.
Yes, if you don't have a concern for financial aid, for example, some students, want to maintain a full-time registration status in order to be qualified for financial aid, but if you don't have any financial aid you want to get, and actually, personally, I would suggest actually a lot of students to try to take maybe to spread out your coursework over multiple semesters. For example, one student might take two courses actually during, and the 2 courses during the spring semester, and then another 2 during the summer session, and another 2 or 3 during the fall semester. So if financially that works for you, actually this will be actually a very good plan for a lot of people.
Another question is about the transcripts. So for transcripts from other schools, is there a cutoff point for the terms of how long that you've earned those credit? No. So we don't have an expiration of credit. But as Dr. Lee indicated, especially if it's been a while since you've taken financial or managerial, those may be some courses that you want to kind of retake or brush up on prior to starting the program, but we don't have an expiration. So if you have kind of taken them a long time ago and have been working in the fields and, don't feel like you need that refresher, there isn't an expiration by which we will transfer things with that encouragement. If it's been a while that you may want to, retake them or, consider that. We have 2 questions about the layout of the program, so I'll kind of combine the 2 of them. So kind of looking at course layout, what is the typical learning content of the course? Is it composed of PowerPoints, recorded sessions, similar things?
Okay, actually that will depends on actually the content of the material. And in my courses, actually, I have a combination of a video and handouts. So handouts, basically, they are something from your textbook. Actually, I add a lot of notes to your textbook content. And for the videos, it's the video from PowerPoint. You don't see me on the video, but you can listen to my voice, and you can see exactly the PowerPoint, in front of you, with my voice, beside your ear.
Yes. All right. So are there any other questions before we kind of sign off for the day?
I just want to mention something about the certification, and I will ask Jason to get into this. Our faculty, certainly are well qualified. They have a PhD in the field of teaching, and also they have so many certification. Maybe you heard the most famous one is a CPA, but there are so many other certification also you may be looking for. CMA, CIA, CFE. So can you talk about some of them?
Okay, so CPA is a certified public accountants. Basically, we are, in New York State, it requires 120 credit hours to take the CPA exam. So after our
degree.
so actually after you finish our curriculum, then you'll be qualified to take the CPA exam. Now in New York State, in order to be certified to get you need 150 credit hours. So many of our students actually they might consider to get 30 credit hours as a double major, or they will plan to go for a master's degree thereafter. But a lot of people ask me this question: can we take the CPA exam after finishing my degree at SUNY Plattsburgh? The answer is yes.
And so many of you said that, I have a bachelor degree in something like in management, so you will have tons of courses. And when you finish your accounting degree, for sure, I can guarantee you will have 150 credits. So you don't have to look for any additional degree or a joint master degree or anything else. You will be qualified when time comes and you pass all the examination required.
In addition to the CPA, we have a certified management accountant. That's a CMA. Actually, every year on this campus, we offer 10 students, free scholarship to take the CMA exam. So that fee, you have the free review materials, and there's just everything free. So you don't have to pay anything out of your pocket. So we have 10 students like that every year for CMA. In addition to that, we have a certified fraud examiner. This certificate right now. Okay, and we have forensic accounting course offered during the summertime. So if you're interested in this rapidly growing area, forensic accounting is actually something interesting for people to go.
Okay, so some more questions. How common is it to get closed out of courses due to there being too many students wanting that course?
That's where I come in.
That's a great yes.
I have no limitation. Don't worry about closed courses. If that course is needed and you're taking it on time, I will open a seat for you in that course.
There you go.
So basically, we have students as the first priority. So for you, so we want you to graduate, as early as possible. Right. Yeah, we care about you.
Thanks. And then another question. This is a prep. So what can I do before starting the semester in January? I am taking Math 102 and then Intermediate Accounting. So
What's
wanting
the
to
name?
know.
Do you have a name?
Rocco.
Yeah, okay. I think we exchanged at least maybe 5-6 emails, when I sign you for the 2 courses you will be taking.
Right, so at this point, you're good in terms of prep. All right, so any additional questions? I'm gonna have you speak now, or, do credits from Clinton Community College still transfer seamlessly? Yes. It's important to note though, with the, when from a community college to an associate's degree level program, things like intermediate accounting, cost, tax, those are not transferable at the upper division coursework. So those courses would still need to be taken at Plattsburgh. So we'll transfer the courses, but they transfer as lower level electives, so 200 level electives. So if you haven't taken those courses, that's nothing you need to be concerned about, but just so that you know that that's put on every acceptance letter, just because we don't want you to come in thinking that those courses are going to be transferred and then you realize that they're not. So if you've taken them at the 2-year level, and then also for some schools, depending at a non-AACSB accredited school, it's not a guarantee of transfer at that upper level of the coursework. Let's see. All right. So if there are no other questions, we definitely, again, if you have additional questions, I think the best kind of initial outreach at plattsburgh.edu would be kind of a good starting point, because if we find that there are questions that we can't answer, then we will work with Dr. Gaber to kind of figure out questions that you may have. And then additionally, if you go to the SUNY application or to the Open SUNY webpage, you would get connected with Jamie Frankenfield as well to kind of start that process. And then one more question is, how soon after the application does one receive an acceptance? So it depends on when your application is completed. So once your application is complete, and that can take a little bit of time depending on the number of transcripts that you have, once the application itself is completed, within about 2 to 5 business days. So once your application is received, you will get an email that lets you know that it's basically thanking you for applying and giving you access to your My Plattsburgh account so that you can access the online portal, which would show you any missing items. So within about 2 to 4 days of an admissions decision, you would be notified of any of the missing items that you're missing. And then once that application comes in, usually within about 2 to 5 business days, we'll make an admissions decision. It posts first in that portal, and then we also follow up with a letter as well, letting you know, gives you an acceptance packet with all of the next steps that you're going to start to have. From there, you'll also get an email from Dr. Gaber, from Jamie. So lots of email communication, lots of ways to get any of the questions that you have answered.
Could you comment on, I cannot work until the deposit is paid?
Yes, yep. So that is
Please.
important too. Yeah. So
Yeah.
note that in terms of registering for classes, because we get a lot of students that are accepted and they immediately want to register for classes, you do need to pay the admissions deposit in order to do that. So it's a $250 admission. Students that are out there, that can be paid right in your My Plattsburgh account. And then right from there, that then shares the degree audit that you're going to get at the point of acceptance from us. It shares it with Dr. Gaber, so he's actually able to help you with registering for classes. Before that, he doesn't have access to it and can't really do much to figure out the coursework that you're going to be taking.
I just want to say to my friends who are listening to us, the deposit also will be part of your tuition.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not really something that you pay and, doesn't go anywhere.
All right. So thank you all so much for participating. Thank you to Dr. Gaber and to Dr. Lee for spending some time with us. And again, if you have continued questions or things that come up, oh, sorry.
Another question?
We do.
Wonderful.
Which is great. No, these are all great. So do you pay the admissions deposit regardless of your financial aid? So once you submit your FAFSA, within usually about a week to 2 weeks, the financial aid office will do the review of your evaluation. If you qualify based on the financial aid that you're going to receive for a fee waiver, they will notify us that you qualify for that. So if you give our admissions office a call, if you email us, we can waive that for you. So if you think that you're going to have that high need and you do have a large amount of financial aid that's coming towards you, know that that may be something where you're able to have that waived for us. So you can always contact our office. We also send out emails that notify you that you qualify for a fee waiver once we get that information from financial aid. So that's definitely a good point to note. Do you need both pre-calculus and calculus for the program?
Yes.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yep. And then can I start for fall of 2020, even so by then I will be 2 courses away from graduating with an associate's degree in accounting. Yes. Yep. So don't hold off on that application process. So you can start that application process at any point in time. I always say, especially if you've registered for the classes that you're going to take in the spring semester, just so that we can give you the full view of your credit evaluation, just because it helps so that you're not thinking that last semester, it's not counting towards anything. If we don't see it, we're not going to transfer that coursework. But if you've registered for your classes and you're all set to go there, you can submit the initial credit or transfer the transcript. And then once you finish your courses, once you're all done, once you've been awarded your associate's degree, you can send us a follow-up transcript where we would just make sure that everything is there, make any adjustments to your credit evaluation from there. All righty. one more second before I start this goodbye one more time. Again, if you do have any additional questions, admissions.plattsburgh.edu is a really good kind of connection point. We'll make sure that you get connected with somebody to answer any questions that you have. So everyone, thank you for joining and have a great night.
Take care. Thank you.